Hello, 1, 2, 3, testing. Okay. Hello. Yeah. All right. So from what you can see, what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna be I'm gonna be discussing the game design of House of Ashes. I know that this is the third game from the Supermassive Games franchise of or anthology of Dark Pictures, but it's just that I actually need to do this now due to personal reasons. So, I mean, to be honest, I would like to just look at the others kind of very quickly. Mainly just the reception and how much they kind of changed. But that's going to be like really quickly, not too long. I don't want to spend too much time doing those because I don't really have any major reason to see them, whilst this one I do actually have to see it. So, all right. Okay. Hold up. I think the audio levels seem to be kind of still a little bit bad. Okay, hold up. I'm gonna check those again. One, two, three, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm gonna have to kind of already stop there. All right. So one thing, because I've already seen this game like a couple times, but still, I don't want to kind of just have all of these ideas, no ideas, thoughts, yeah, thoughts, analysis, and ideas just recorded in audio at least. Yes, because sometimes I have a sort of just like anyone, they'll have a I guess an idea or some sort of thought, and it kind of just gets lost in the in all of them. What the fuck am I going to say? Okay, but okay, so I do see a problem with, and this is a kind of problem with all of the games, to a degree, and it's that to a degree they all focus more on the blood and the gore rather than any sort of other types of horror. If you remember last time, I explained that supermassive games tends to follow the what Stephen King said about the three types of horror, being that there is gross out horror, which is more or less just visceral horror, body horror, horror, which is just elements that are shouldn't be there that are there, and then terror, which is more or less just when the ambient itself feels like it's the danger, and you don't know where it is. It's looming, but it's not there in front of you. It's more or less behind you, and even if you try to look behind you, it always moves. But here's the deal: they never really follow or try to focus much on the other types of horror. Like I do feel that they tend to follow. They tend to really focus a lot on the gross out horror, on the visceral horror. Like they have a lot of bloody scenes. They have a lot of scenes of people being mutilated and killed in very graphic ways. Or they'll have, at least for this game, they have some, I guess, kind of gross out horror coming from the fact that some of the humans can be infected by the vampires, and their transformation can leave them looking a little bit, you know, uh, it leaves them looking very monstrous, which that actually goes into both things. It goes both into the sort of horror, but because it's the distortion of the human body, it also goes into the visceral horror because they have some very some very unnatural looking eyes, very they don't look human at all, but you can see that they were at one point human. But that's kind of an issue. But the issue that I'm kind of going at is that they tend to always focus a lot more on the gross out horror. Now, in Until Dawn, they barely really made much of a focus there. There were a couple of decapitations, some. There were some. Yeah. Oh, actually, yeah, they did kind of focus a lot on that, but it wasn't too much, I suppose. However, as the games go on, they definitely want you to focus a lot more on the gross out of seeing somebody being impaled or killed or crushed, or having their bones broken in one way or another. This issue becomes an even greater thing, I suppose, to a degree, in Devil in Me, because in Devil in Me, the level of detail that they try to put on how this dismemberments tend to happen on how this dismemberments happen. So, for example, a decapitation, somebody gets an axe through their head. They kind of make the level of detail on those much higher. Which, to be honest, I would give it a bit of slack for The Devil in Me because it does make sense for that game, as it is basically a Saw, a kind of homage to the Saw films, and it is very much made explicit by even having some sections where it looks more like Saw, or it was trying to replicate the sort of look of Saw that we always knew. But oh well. I have no idea what just happened. Okay. Alright. So... Okay, so something that they do in all of these games is basically they have some sort of like prologue. Yeah, a prologue. Basically, there's always a prologue trying to explain what's happening to a degree, or at least the starting point of things. So, for example, for Until Dawn, they showed the sisters dying. For uh, for Man of Medan, they showed how the how the Marang Medan came to become a ghost ship. For the for Little Hope, they showed how the family died and how the like boy survived. And then for this one, they're showing basically, and they're going really far back for this one. So they're going for like, uh, how, when was it? Hold up, like Akkad, yeah. So they're going back to Akkad, 20, 2231 BC. So I'm not sure. I'm not actually before. Ah, okay, okay. Yeah, BC meant before, correct? Okay, so it is. Okay. Yeah, yeah, because this is basically pre-Egyptian era. So these are the people that came before the Egyptians. Um, Now for this game, they actually focus a lot on the culture of these people and their well, they kind of focus more or less on one element of their culture mainly, which is basically one of the demons that they believed in called Pazuzu, which is, you may have heard of the name of Pazuzu being the name of the demon that possessed Reagan in the Exorcist films. Yeah, it is called Pazuzu, and you can actually see that they use basically the same visual imagery. For the if you see the Pazuzu statue in the Exorcist, you will see the statue of a winged creature with a with a very big something. That statue is meant to be actually like the actual statue of Pazuzu. And I know it sounds the name kind of sounds a little bit silly, but remember this is a different language, so you know. But still, yeah. So here we've been seeing that apparently, from what they explained, what they're kind of showing is more or less this kind of mad king that more or less set a plague upon his people, more or less because he's just mad and that's it, you know. So here we see that more or less um, his kingdom has some sort of issues with another kingdom. So that you have the Arcadians and the Guni, Gunigalians, or was it? I can't remember. But more or less, that it's more. It kind of doesn't really matter what we're being shown now, as it is only just to more or less have some sort of themes kind of pre-established, which to be honest are not really explored much. The only theme that is explored the most is more or less two sides that are against each other that in times of great need basically come together to fight off a greater evil. In this case, what they'll show is that man that he was about to kill. So the general, yeah, the guy who's trying to kill this woman. He was about to kill some other guy that he just put in prison. Sorry. In much later on, when the monsters actually come, they'll okay. Hold up. Future, much more in the future, when the monsters actually come, what will happen is that guy that he was about to kill and or more execute or whatever, he will actually join up with him, basically setting up the idea of two opposing sides coming together for to defeat a greater evil. That's kind of the main, I guess, the main theme that is explored throughout the whole game. And to be honest, I would say that it is explored in the game in various ways. It isn't just one thing that kind of explores it. The two main ones. Um, I'll more or less talk about them when they come. But more or less, here at least, for all of these sections in the prologue, what they will do is just show you just show you the how's it called, the main mechanics that are going to be at play for these games. All of the games have the same mechanics.
Just a girl. Nothing but a girl.
I see only a good
Gutian. Okay, so you have the Arcadians and the Gutians.
If you cannot
Yes.
kill in my name, General, then perhaps you can die for it.
And this is the Arcadian Mad King, Nakad Sin. Now, oh yeah, okay, I got confused. Okay, this guy, he's about to get free in a couple of seconds. Yeah, and then later on, he's gonna team up with the other guy. Okay, hold up. Now for the mechanics, which are seen throughout all of the games in the so you have this mechanic. Okay, so for the mechanics specifically, you have this mechanic, which is kind of like a, I'm not really sure how to call it. It's a quick time event. Or actually, I should go a little bit back because there was another mechanic here. Okay, so the first mechanic that we're shown here, that is seen in all of the games, and it's kind of it's very much a mechanic taken from Until Dawn, is this sort of like choose how you respond type of mechanic to it's very much, time kind of stops, and the character's just waiting for your response. Now here you see that you more or less have just three main answers, and you will only have three answers. Usually the way that they'll go is at top you have no answer, basically you'll just not respond. You'll have sort of, depending on what's been asked of you, you'll have a good type of answer and then a bad answer, basically. So here we see that he got ordered to kill the woman, and you have the choices to be reluctant when responding, being like, do I have to kill her? Or can we just keep her alive, or just be compliant? In future ones, they'll do more or less kind of this sort of, somebody asks you a question, and they do this a lot. Okay, they'll ask you a question, and then you have a respond like a dickhead or respond less like a dickhead, kind of, to a degree, depending on how much they want you to appear like a dickhead, more or less. But yeah, that's kind. No, okay. Usually they'll have like a sort of answer that I guess satisfies the person that's. But in short, that's how it goes, more or less. You have an answer that satisfies the person that you're talking to. In this case, the good answer is more or less to be reluctant to kill the woman, even though he was very much willing to kill the the other guy. But again, you kind of have more or less a sort of kind of good answer. So usually you have a morally good and then a morally bad answer. That's the best way to put it. Yeah, you usually always have a morally a morally good answer, and then you have a morally bad answer. Yeah. Okay. Whereabouts were we? Hold up. I need to just really quickly check out something. Okay, hold up. I actually have to go for a moment. Okay, I'm back. Hello. All right. What? Sorry, I just had to go do some things. Okay, what was I talking about?
Aqui.
Okay, yeah. So the mechanics. So you got that mechanic where more or less the whole idea is you have a morally good right mechanic. You have a morally good good response. You have a morally bad response, and then you have a do nothing response, which I mean barely anyone tends to choose. So I'm not even sure why it's there. Hmm. Anyway, God, the noises that she makes are really funny. She doesn't say a word. All that she does is just kind of whine a little bit. Okay, you have this one. Yeah. This other mechanic more or less goes is a very simple mechanic. All that it does is a quick time event which very much imitates the mechanic that they had with the other within Until Dawn. Is very much the same mechanic again, where the time slows down slows down a little bit, and then all that you have to do is just move the cursor to the place where you want to, I guess, hit. Usually, what they'll do is for times where you have to shoot some gun, they'll kind of do that. It's mainly just for this, so it's their only type of way of doing combat. Oh, and also they did the quick time events for here. Yeah, so
She must die.
they also do combat via quick time events. Yeah, so yeah. Now the quick time events are a little bit more of a if you fail at hitting them, then you fail and then you fuck up, right? With this one, it they tend to make them for per se as well combat, but they also kind of give you a bit of a choice. The quick time events ones are always done with the intention that you actually succeed on them. These ones are not always made with the intention that you succeed on them, more or less. So here you can see that you can choose to either kill the girl personally or not kill her, and that's it. Now they'll always have, as seen in Until Dawn, they will also have multiple things to possibly uh, hit. Now, something very interesting is that in this game, what they have done is that instead of having like some sort of pointer thing showing you where you can hit, what they what they've actually done is more or less have a not actually have any pointers. Actually, they like you cannot see any pointers because if you see in Until Dawn, you kind of have had some sort of like crosshairs on everything that you could actually point, and something something will happen if you point at it. In this game, they kind of took that off, and I think the like pointer thing was in Little Hope and in Man of Medan, but on this one, what they did is take that away, which, to be honest, it was actually a kind of better, best. It was a good idea to take it away. Oh, by the way, I am using again not my own footage. This is from Shirako. Um, so yeah, it was House of Ashes walkthrough on PC. Oh well, no, never mind. Anyway, yeah. So this is. I think this was done to more or less ensure that the cinematic feeling of it wasn't broken by having too many UI details or too much or too many like things on the HUD. Because of course, in a film, you wouldn't be having like an actual crosshairs or things pointing you out where you can interact with things. But still, that's just how these things kind of go. So here, what they do actually do quite well I would say, is kind of more or less just pointing out, just by what's actually happening, the like where you can actually hit. So, for example, here you know that you can go and chuck the spear at her, but in other occasions, for example, a monster lunges at you, but your friend is kind of is about to be killed by a monster. You have usually the choice to either defend yourself or attack the or help your friend by, instead of shooting at the monster that's lunging at you, shooting at the monster that is on top of your friend. That's kind of the way that they do it here, and you don't get any crosshairs telling you shoot here or shoot here. It does feel a bit more of a, you choose how it goes, which I would say is a bit of an improvement, which is kind of weird saying that, because all that they did more or less games wise or games designs wise is just take off the crosshairs off of the things that you can shoot at. But yeah, so here you can see that the player chose not to uh, not to throw the spear, but that kind of means jack shit.
Spent too long killing the calves in our
Now,
fields, Balatu. You've
it
lost
doesn't really
your
mean
way.
much because again, she got killed, but it kind of means a little bit. It has a bit of a an importance because now he seems like a bit of a what the fuck are you doing? You should be doing
Just
this
a
shit,
girl.
type of ordeal. Anyway, let's go forwards. So he gets free. Now we oh no, something that I would say is that, to be honest, this is meant to be like Mesopotamian type of architecture, but to be honest, they they kind of just don't really give a shit on how accurate they are. The only thing that they do have in any sort of semblance of accuracy is the geography, I suppose, to a degree, and maybe some other like visuals and like the designs of the certain things. But to be honest, if you look at how Mesopotamian times were kind of or have been speculated to actually look at and be, they are not like this. They are definitely not like this. This is very, very much the game's fantasy. But here we see that the conflict, that's going on. But we see a bit of an interesting thing. So it's more or less outright implied that it's hello, hello, gato. Yeah, it's more or less outright implied that it's uh, that the monsters waking up is due to the people's, I guess, making a bit of a too much of a ruckus for them to actually stay asleep, I suppose. And then here we see, the oh shit, something happened here. Oh, what is this? Yeah, okay. No, okay, hold up, because the game does, because it's very much going for the whole cinematic thing. It does take a long time. So yeah, to be honest. Oh, okay. So here we can see that they. Okay. So you, so here what they're trying to show is more or less the vision in quotation marks of the monster. Now the reason why it's all in black and white and it looks kind of weird, it's because it's not really vision. Here what they're implying is that it's, and you can also hear it in the sound. Yeah. So it's actually meant to be implied that the monsters are actually using echolocation to more or less just look at see their environment. It's it's not the best way to like I think that there's much better ways to show that sort of like echolocation thing. Oh, sorry. you know, to show echolocation. They like if you see other things like even the very kind of early 2000s film of Daredevil, not Daredevil, was it? Yeah, Daredevil. Yeah, the very early 2000s film of Daredevil was much better at showcasing the whole like, oh, he can hear you and shit, you know. But here, this effect just doesn't really look that good, in my opinion. You do have that sort of like kind of like, I guess, pulse thing, radar thing going on. Yeah, but it doesn't really work that well at showcasing the whole like, you know, you that the monster is actually hearing. Okay, so okay, here is where we start to see the more or less start of the whole. Yeah, so here's where we start to see the start of the whole like, oh, it's two sides, two opposing sides that need to come together to defeat this much greater evil or threat. No, yeah, and here they outright just say, no, yeah, no, yeah, the guy's dead, and he was mad. That's more or less what they're just going on at. Well, and you saw the whole like status updated. Yeah, you basically your relationship with the other characters is also taken into consideration. I don't know how much it's taken into consideration. Like, I don't know if maybe there's some sort of like, maybe you pause the game and then you see a graph seeing how much you're liked by the other character. I don't think they do that but you know, again, I haven't played the game, so that's kind of an issue. Though I am gonna play it in the future, definitely. I have to play this one. But oh yeah, so this is a quick time event, but instead of be a single press, it's button mashing. I would say that the one issue for, and this is kind of like the one issue that's seen in all of the games, because they decided to go to not. Oh, okay, hold up. So the one issue that's kind of seen throughout all of the games, because they decided to make them for PC and for a lot of platforms. There's a lot of things that can't be like translated well for all platforms. So the whole like gyroscope thing where you cannot move the controller, that they completely removed that. There is no more of that, which I would say it's kind of a shame, but it makes sense because they want to make these games for PC, for more specifically for PC, but for other platforms um, that don't have controllers with gyroscopes included with their console. You know, it makes sense for per se a PS5 or a PS4, but not for a per se an um not for a PC specifically. I'm kind of thinking, you know. Okay, this is another mechanic, which is the quick time event again, but not quick time. It's a drawn out. It's a very drawn out section in which what you have to do is usually always keep calm and keep quiet to not alert the monster. They, I don't know. I'm not too sure how to feel about this ones. I would say that they do tend to feel fairly. They do achieve their mission of making the player feel, you know, stressed out. But it's not because of the monster. It's because you have to basically start playing a fucking rhythm game out of nowhere. Oh god, playing a rhythm game out of nowhere. That kind of reminded me of something. Drakengard, anyone?
Just a rat.
Anyway.
For nothing. They died in vain. I'm mad.
Oh yeah, here we get a kind of dumb jump scare. Anyway, Oh, I just realized. Are the are the
We are thirsty.
is the floor just covered in blood? Is that what's been implied?
For gold.
Or is that or is the floor just red? No, I think it's meant to be covered in blood.
Help me with this.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Anyway. All right. Okay. So another thing that they've actually changed from Until Dawn and the other previous games
What is this?
in the Dark Pictures anthology is actually that this game has actually instead of going
We get out of here alive.
for no
Enemy of my enemy.
again you saw the you saw the responses. You're having a you're like about to have a fight, verbal fight, and you have the choice to be arrogant or respectful. So you have a morally right response and a morally wrong response, more or less. You know, you can be a dickhead or you cannot be a dickhead. That's literally it.
The enemy of my enemy.
He's a friend.
We help each other.
There is always hope.
Yeah. Okay. See this? This is actually a third-person camera. It's kind of almost the sort of same camera that they use in. No, actually, in here, at least for the more tighter and narrower places, they use a camera that's more or less in the same like similar to the Resident Evil 4 camera, and I think it looks really good. Which, as a bit of a critique, okay, for another game, is the Silent Hill 2 camera. Like, have you seen the Silent Hill 2 gameplay? Because oh fucking god, oh no, that looked awful. Like, has anyone actually seen it? Hold up, Silent Hill 2, remake. It looks awful. It looks awful. This, yeah. So I think is it this one? Combat reveal. Yeah. Okay, hold up. All right, so this is a Silent Hill 2 combat reveal trailer, and they actually show how. Like, what is this? What the fuck is this? Like, you know, everything looks really nice visually. Oh fuck! No, no. None of this looks good. Hold up. Everything's kind of sped up. Sorry. Is this also? This is done by Blooper Team, I believe. If you're gonna see, can't wait to play as Leon's cousin. Yeah, this just looks like like fucking Resident Evil 4. The animations are a little bit off. Yeah, they look just strange. Specifically when the guy is like fighting someone. When the guy when James is kind of fighting. Yeah, they look weird, don't they? They look kind of mechanical. Like you look at them, why? Oh my god, why is this Resident Evil 4? Why is this Resident Evil 4? Why are you even bothering with the like with the like why are you even bothering with this shot? At this point, there is no. Oh yeah, what's with the monsters? That's also something that I kind of noticed. Some of them look a bit different. So I think they just. So I personally thought that they just did this to more or less make some sort of differences between all of them because you know. No, I think it's just differences between each monster. Though the bobblehead nurse looks weird. Am I wrong? she doesn't look like what I would imagine. She looks a little too clean for like in the even in the fucking Silent Hill film. They kind of made some bubblehead nurses that look really good, and they were very much what I imagined if they were to be like in real life. This don't look. They don't look like the head doesn't look how I expected them to look. Yeah. Oh, show him. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Anyway.
each other.
Oh, I almost went a little bit too forwards. Oh, really? Oh, I pressed one and it went. Oh, okay, I think that's what happened before. When I think about it.
For gold, for glory, for home. Came, or only hope.
Okay.
Over here.
Yeah. So here's where we're presented to the monster, and I would say they do the correct thing in hiding the monster and just showing very little of it at the start. No, it is kind of dumb because what is this? What is this weird? I like. It's very theatrical. I think it's way too theatrical to kind of feel genuine. And let me tell you, the monster does it more than once. It's kind of funny.
Came.
Okay, so here, okay, so here you have as well more or less this same ordeal. You have a bit of a dual choice whether to fight or betray. It's kind of it's the same thing as the other thing, where you have three choices. So I suppose you have a choice to do nothing, a choice to do something morally right, and then do something morally wrong. It might look different, but it's the exact same thing. Yeah. I would say sometimes. Oh yeah, for most of the scripts, in all of the games don't tend to be that good. I gotta be honest. They do tend to be kind of bad. Yeah, hold up, hold up. Watch it, watch it. Yeah. One, two, three, four. Oh. Yeah. As I told you, they they do that a bit more. And to be honest, it is kind of funny. It's way too theatrical for this type of game. To be honest, I almost forgot. Oh yeah, and also if you saw really quickly. Okay, so for this game, they changed the. Did they have a motif? So in Until Dawn, they had a butterfly motif thing going on. In in here for this game, they have sort of no, they are just they have a crow motif thing going on, where instead you'll see those crows each time that you make any choice that actually affects the game's story in any way. It's kind of well done to the. I mean, no, actually, it's not really well done to be honest. Personally, I find it very distracting. Like this type of effects that are kind of put on top of the game. Far like this effect looks far more tacked on than the HUD. Like the HUD feels like it belongs in this game, but this effect doesn't feel like it belongs. It very much looks kind of like it was just put on top. And it's kind of also very weird looking because even because just look at it. Hold up. It looks a little weird, doesn't it? It looks like it's much lower frame at a much lower frame rate than it should be. I don't know if maybe that's a thing in the recording of this guy, but I mean, this guy's saying that he's recording it, 60 frames per second. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna do a 4K. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe that's the issue. Hold on. Oh, no, it still looks weird. Anyway, all right, the curator. I don't know what to think about the curator. Okay, if you remember in last stream, I actually praised the curator. I personally found the curator to be quite good, actually. No, not the curator, the analyzer. So the analyzer and the curator are two different entities or characters or whatever they are.
Decisions that will affect the lives of others.
Now, in Until Dawn, if you remember,
Those decisions play out.
the way that they justified the analysis or the analyst
Who I am and
is
where you are.
that the analyst was actually some sort of
He cuts
hallucination
a purpose.
or some sort of like alter ego that was
You make.
kind of
This is my
that was very much analyzing what was occurring,
It is filled with untold stories. Stories of loyalty and betrayal, life.
and it was actually an not it was more or less just an hallucination from one of the characters, more specifically the one that was played by Robbie Malek,
To descend into the unknown alone is extremely
where the whole thing about him
or extremely foolish.
was that he was just basically analyzing
Let me give you a few
and
examples. Throughout the story, you will encounter certain pictures. Pictures which
where his character, Robbie Malek's character, was analyzing and kind of just going through it, what everything, how everything was going, and what what were his choices, why were his choices done, and he was kind of, I guess, rationalizing everything through that the character of the analyzer. But in this game, or actually not in this game, but in the Pictures anthology, they okay, hold up. In the Dark Pictures anthology, they kind of overdo it, or kind of they have this character, they have this character, what's it called? Fuck, the curator. My bad. Sorry, I literally just saw him, and they and he's kind of some sort of, I guess, omnipotent being that lives outside all of these stories, but knows of all of them and knows how they end, how they, he clearly knows how everything's gonna go down, and he speaks directly to the player, just like the analyst did. But the justification for this character just feels more like he's there just because the analyst was in Until Dawn. There is no reason for this character to exist beyond the sort of flimsy thing that maybe he's some sort of entity that knows of all of these things, and he there's an overarching kind of story where he seems to be like working for some other dark entity, but they never really explain what's actually happening, whether he's actually like sorry, they don't explain much in any of the games. That's what I'm saying. It's it's not really well used, and it very much feels like he was just that this character is in this franchise just because Until Dawn did it, and they and of course all of these games been just basically the the studio's attempt to capture that magic that Until Dawn had. I mean, to be honest, this game's kinda good. It's not my favorite. I would say that out of all of them, which is kind of weird, out of all of them, I kind of liked a bit more The Devil in Me in some ways, because this one just feels kind of very boring. But The Devil in Me, I would say, it's actually boring. It's not really that interesting. There isn't much to uncover. The moment that you know that it's the moment that you realize that you are in a huge trap that is meant to be kind of like H.H. Holmes, House of Horrors. Like the moment that you know that the moment that you know that there is not much of a mystery. In this one, there's a bit of a mystery, though it's very flimsy mystery because they kind of tried to make it as if the monster is basically meant to be Pazuzu, but in the end, it's revealed that the monster is some sort of alien from another world. That the alien itself is not evil, but it's been controlled by a sort of parasite thing that's actually making it be evil. Sorry. Yeah, it's a very convoluted story, to be honest. So, eh, anyway, we're gonna start to be seeing some of the characters that we're gonna be following. Now, something that is done even in Until Dawn, I think, is that the characters that are actually playable, they're they're very much introduced properly. Well, at least properly in the sense of they're introduced by they're introduced with this whole like weird presenting them with all of their characteristics. Yeah. So immediately you see this character and you're presented to him by having this uh, thing pop up, and it's like Jason, Jason. This I think it's a reference from Heavy Rain. press press to call out for Jason. But okay. Um, yeah. So you have this character called Jason Cole Kolchek. Kolchek. Jason Kolchek. And oh, actually, sorry, hold up. So as you can see, we ended with the two guys more or less dying in the prologue. We then went into the curator. He doesn't matter. So then we go into here, this guy, into this story. The actual story of the game involves 2003 Iraq War at more or less the end of it. We're following a squadron of U.S. military. Oh God, I can see some clipping. I can see it. It's clipping. It's right here. Can you see it? Oh my bad. Oh my God, it's clipping. I thought this was a AAA game, but I was mistaken. Anyway, oh, don't look at the the folds. Those don't look natural at all. They've never been able to do folding articulations well. But anyway, this is the best that it can look. Anyway, yeah. So we can see this character, Jason Kolchek. As we're presented to him, we're immediately told that he, that he's confident and intolerant. Again, my issue with this type of presentation is that it is very much a showing, but it's not telling you that he's actually confident and that he's intolerant. For example, they have a moment in which you can see his confidence in more or less how he kind of takes himself. He takes himself kind of serious. I can't think of a really good moment where he's like showing his confidence beyond any moment where he's like let's go this way or this way. The only moment where I would say that it's about to happen is when he calls the woman that's in charge Captain Bitch Queen or something, Queen Bitch or something like that. And it's kind of funny. That's the only moment where you can see like that he's kind of a bit of a he doesn't like her. You can see a bit of an intolerance to I guess the way that she runs the whole thing. But yeah, hold on. If you can hear me typing, well, that's because I am typing. Yeah, confident and intolerant. Yeah. Then you Gav. Then you Gav. And actually, to be honest, the only thing that I would say, or actually, not to a degree, no, actually, because you actually are shown what is the status in their whole military, I guess, status thing. I don't remember how it's called in their ranks. Yeah, that's the name. Yeah. So you're outright just shown, that this guy is in first in line or first LT. I don't know. USM Force Recon. Okay. I don't I don't know what any of that means, but more or less, yeah. So yeah, the main story revolves these guys. As we're shown them, basically the whole thing is that they're going in Iraq to like uncover or find a biochemical weapons facility thing that they were or some biochemical weapons that the other side had, I think. Yeah. In the end, they don't find them, and that plot point is kind of just forgotten immediately when the guys are all they all literally fall into the main plot of the game. You'll see, you'll see. But here we have Eric King, Eric King. Oh, yeah. So he's rational but insecure. Again, could show us rational and insecure.
Not particularly. Wasn't a game player.
Oh, also, yeah. Again, the whole mechanics. So you have an impatient, which is the morally wrong way to answer, or you have an apologetic, which is more morally correct. I would say I think there is some moments where responding a specific way will actually make you have a better because I think that's the idea. You have to choose between two things that will either or actually three things in which they will either increase or decrease your uh, your relationship with the other characters. So per se, one character will expect you to per se be impatient and care more for the meeting, whilst another character will prefer for you to be apologetic. So if you're apologetic, that character who wants you to be apologetic then will feel much better towards this character. But then the other character who wanted you to be more impatient and care for the more for the meeting will react negatively to that, and your relationship with that character will become much more negative.
For riding really good time. Things are moving fast. I hear you, Colonel. Glad to have you on board.
Now, okay,
Text
so
me the
I think this is kind of a thing that's with all of the games.
You should read this.
You have the characters that matter, and all of those characters that matter are the ones that basically get presented with this whole, you know, presentation thing. And this is the characters that you can actually play as in specific moments. But then you have characters like the one that's going to be presented. This one, Clarice. So Clarice is not. She's just an NPC. She's not. You don't play as her at any moment. And something that's actually also that also happens with all of the NPC characters is that their fates, whatever you do, most of them don't really change. Yeah, that seems to be more or less the thing. That's kind of yeah. So at least with this character, whatever you try, she's gonna die anyways. She's always gonna die. There is no way to save her. There is no way to help ensure that she ever comes out alive. She's always gonna die. There's nothing to do. And I'm not sure how to feel about that because the whole choice of like the whole ordeal of all of these games is that to be able to maybe be able to save all of the characters, but even then, support NPC, and yeah, that's all that she is. A support NPC, her fate is to die, and you can't do anything.
You are?
Yeah.
My assistant, Clarice Stokes.
Dr. Clarice Stokes.
Kojak. First Lieutenant Kojak. Oh, the briefing room?
It's not the best that it could be, but I mean, you kind of have to go to do something. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. Again, they actually. So if you don't recognize who this woman is, or this character, sorry. Oh shit. Sorry. If you don't recognize who this character is modeled after, well, she's clearly modeled after Sharpay, or I should say the actress of Sharpay, because her actress is the voice actress for this character. So Rachel King. You can already see that Rachel King and Eric King are supposed to be, husband and wife. But wait a minute. No, never mind, never mind. Um, so she's to be the officer. She's in this in this quadrant thing or whatever it is. She's the field officer or CIA. Oh, CIA. Oh yeah, because that's how the CIA deals with things outside of the US. Anyway, so the whole thing about her is that she's commanding and aggressive. And you can see that, she's clearly meant to be, and they outright stated that she's having an affair with this other guy, Nick K. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I don't know the fucking the way that this guy is. I guess two main things. They are, for Eric King is that he's rational and insecure. For this guy, it's that he's defensive and romantic. There's something a bit funny about that. I'm sorry. There's something about it that I just cannot I cannot take serious at all. But yeah. Uh yeah. So oh sorry, I had to okay, I just remembered. Okay, so for all of these games, they actually have always a sort of like a sort of a couple that's trying to go through and like maybe fix their relationship in one way or another. And here this time they're up in the ante by instead having a love triangle where one. So yeah, well more like
This could be our last time together, Rachel. After what happened,
well here is more just one guy the girls has been
you've lifted me up. I don't know.
is be how's it infidelity how's that called to be
I'll be there in 5.
or to actually do
It's early.
Your husband, you
or
mean?
whatever never mind.
Don't you think it's about time you came clean?
Okay,
Put your clothes back on. Straighten up.
I mean, Rachel, you gonna tell him about us?
yeah, you're gonna tell me what it was.
Whatever you had, it's gotta be over. Come on.
Okay, I gotta be honest. One thing. Why do any of the characters? None of them actually look at where they're supposed to be looking at. They're like she's. If you're actually looking at where she's actually, if you notice where she's actually looking more or less to not even at him, but more to his right, not to his. Yeah, he's looking more to his left, and not even at his face, but to his like lower side of the face, so to his mouth. Like she's not looking up here to his eyes. She's looking like more off towards here. I would say even like more towards here. Like very, she's very much not looking at him. So
It's bullshit. It's never right time.
yeah, like do you notice? Well, actually, now think about it, it would kind of make sense that she would be looking kind of to the nothingness because like if she was actually looking at him for all of them, look at how she has to, how much she has to move her eyes to actually look at him. But imagine that those eyes just being there continuously for like a minute. That would be kind of funny. But yeah, you would see that this is kind of an issue for all of the moments where they have to, where the character has to choose. You will see that this always happens, where the character will immediately kind of go into a sort of like idle animation, where 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 he or she's just like looking off to nowhere, and even then, she look at her, she look, use your eyes, you can actually move them. Fuck, the animations are kind of a bit weird. Specifically the eyes. They never actually move their eyes. There's more for some moments, but she's you can, you know, if you look at anyone who's, you know, looks around, you will see that they actually move their eyes. Here she's actually moving her entire head like she's an owl or something. It's really weird and really off-putting. Oh, and another thing, rather than running, they do the like weird sort of running, not running, and it's like, why are you even doing that? Like it makes the, I think it's mainly just for the theatrics of it. But it's like these are supposed to be military people. They are very fucking running. Like you'll see when they start to like run away from some things. Hold up, I'm just trying to. Oh, actually, maybe just for the sake of. Okay, this is another NPC. I'm just lowering the. I'm just lowering the how's it called? Fuck the resolution just because it's a little too. Oh, okay, so you already kind of start to have the whole like. Yeah, you can really see that they're starting to have the sort of. Here is the character that you're supposed to hate. Here is the character that you're supposed to kind of, you know, I guess, think. What is the face that he did pose? I'm sorry, these games are kind of much funnier when you just think about what the fuck is happening. Anyway, yeah, so he's already. They outright called him the residential jackass. He's meant to be a character that you're supposed to hate. And you'll see why I'm saying this because this guy can die in multiple ways, each one more painful than the other, and even one way that he can die is very stupid and very idiotic. You'll see. When we get there eventually. Oh, okay, yeah. So all right, yeah. So this is the thing that so he shot a civilian, and he's Nick K, the guy he's the other girl is cheating with him with King Eric with, but okay, keep that in mind. He's kind of in shock for some sort of like, you know, I guess you know he's having trouble dealing with the fact that he accidentally shot a civilian.
shooting a few weeks back. Civilian bullet. Nicked his heart. Is he combat ready? He's a big boy, sir. He's ready.
Yeah.
Damn, Joey, they got
Oh, I almost forgot. For fuck's sake, I kept talking and talking and japping, and I didn't say a thing about what I wanted to say before. Okay, because I kind of had to go. Okay, so what I wanted to say. Oh, this is another actor. I know who this actor is as well. I can recognize this actor. He's a British actor,
Colonel Eric King.
I believe. I think.
Give the
Oh
colonel
well.
outside access.
No. I think I can't remember. He looks like an actor, and I'm not sure if he actually is. But
Rachel and I, we know each other. She'll understand all fair and love no more. Sir?
The queen bitch you're referring to is his wife.
oh yeah.
She'll understand all fair and love no more. Sir? I'm telling you, when the queen bitch finds out about this,
Yeah, Queen Bitch. He's referring to Rachel, who, reminder, is Eric's wife. Who, reminder, and Eric doesn't know, but she's been unfaithful. Yup.
flip her shit.
Anyway,
Rachel and I, we know each other. She'll understand all fair and love no more. Sir?
The queen bitch you're referring to is his wife. Nice work, Scott.
it's, these reactions. Oh, these reactions. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about is the
I'm so sorry. Rachel
for Until Dawn. So in Until Dawn, in Until Dawn, in Man of Medan, and in Little Hope, they had static cameras, static shot cameras that are very much, Silent Hill, reminiscent to Silent Hill. In this game, however, they actually ditched that and they gave the player a third-person camera, which actually kind of makes more sense for this type of game, as it is actually, at least story-wise, it's meant to be like a story about, military, a military story, which I would say,
Let's get you set up.
I hope the
yeah,
batteries are with the data.
I don't know, I think that it fits much better.
We got a deal, lady.
What is this place anyway? Looks like
Okay, so, oh yeah, another mechanic. So, what kind of mechanic? This is also seen in Until Dawn, where basically you're always confronted with having to do every single meticulous thing one by one. It's really funny when you notice. For example, you saw him. He had to
and all these fabulous people.
examine, and then you see that, and then you see, oh, this paper has something put on top of it. I have to move cup, and you have to press to move cup. It's, ooh, I don't know, for this game. Like, couldn't they have done like something kind of like in, how's it called? So couldn't they have done something more like in the game Surgeon Simulator, where, and I know that this sounds dumb, okay, but where instead you're in with your mouse or with your analog stick, you control a little bit the hand on where he's kind of gonna where his hand is. So like, imagine, my mouse is here, and then you can move the hand to be here, move the hand to be here. So you maybe like get the hand here, press, and then move the cup. Maybe that could have been much better, because in the in Until Dawn they used the fact that there was a touchpad on the controller to do this type of like, you know touch the controller to and and slide a bit, touch and slide on on the touchpad to like motion the thing of like, grabbing something and maybe moving it out of the way, kind of like that. That's something that they did. I don't know. And I kind of feel like, maybe the best way to replicate that for all of the, in a way that would be, easy to replicate in all um, platforms, would be to basically have some sort of like hidden cursor. So that hidden cursor kind of, basically is controlled by, well, for PCs it would be controlled by the mouse, and for controllers it would be controlled by one of the analog sticks. That would make much more sense, I think, because this, oh yeah, so they kind of did it here. They kind of did it. So, but the way that I'm kind of going at, the way that I'm explaining it, is a bit more elaborate. So here, what you have to do is more or less you have to press the right trigger, and then yeah, so you do the motion, I suppose, yeah, the motion that you are grabbing onto the thing, and then with the analog, you push it to one of the to the you displace the fucking thing. God, yeah.
We got a deal, lady.
So that's another thing that they have. This is mainly just for
Should damn like to get down and dance.
like smaller things, yeah.
Voted the incident off with their head.
Like if you see the oh,
Long as you don't step
was that the man that I think I saw? Yeah, because it's fucking Iraq war. Anyway, oh, and you can already see that. Yeah, a reference to the fact that there's going to be an eclipse.
Colonel King,
Mrs. King.
Eric, this is my team. And if you want to brief them, you clear with me first. I have.
Or something. This is what.
Is it just three
Or an
characters?
art or something. This is footage from the highly classified Kalis program. That's supposed to mean something to me. It's a thermal
There,
system
I
that
think-
was pioneered. Oh.
I think there's another character that's also is Selim a playable character? Well, I mean, I say playable, but more or less a character who you can,
All right, that's enough, Merwin. Stand by. Break radio sound. This is why we went to war.
control to a degree.
Broke down, sort that right out, huh?
I'm serious. I got a real bad feeling about this.
That's what you get from spending too much time with Eric.
Is there anything you can do?
I'm gonna Eric.
Sweetie, look, the broke down, sort that right out, huh?
I'm serious. I got a real bad feeling about this.
That's what you get from spending too much time with Eric.
Is there anything you can do?
Looking off to the distance.
You can have some alone time with him. Thank you, Grace. Eric, we need to talk.
They don't look like they're actually looking at the person. It's always so weird.
I miss you so much, Rach.
This isn't about us, Eric.
I just want things to go back to the way they were.
How we left it, things weren't so great between us.
We've been through worse.
Like it's clear that they can. I don't know.
You're not wearing your wedding ring.
Oh yeah, again the
Hey, be careful.
the character's trying to.
Tricks anyway. What the fuck is that?
Ultraviolet light. We use it to sweep explosives.
Let me have a go.
No. How much longer will that download, Clarice? I need it ASAP.
Is 5 minutes ASAP enough for you? Download it in enough.
Okay,
Good. I'll check the satellite maps.
again you can see that they're trying to do the whole trying to fix their relationship thing in the middle of something serious, and they always do this a lot. They always fucking do it. It's
What the hell?
it's really bizarre
We need to be mobile.
We need to be prepared.
because they always.
Underground, possibly under construction.
Oh, okay.
You want me to feel safe?
Here's where the theme of conflict always also comes in. So instead, so
What about you?
you can have a moment where
Here, Jack. If any Iraqis
the two guys kind of team up,
You seem pretty
but
confident.
that only happens, I believe, if Rachel
Come on,
dies.
man.
Yeah, it's. Oof. Okay. That's I always forgot about this. They actually show the cards. So if you don't know, they have. So in the Iraq War, they actually had the, to make sure that all of the soldiers remembered the faces of all of the of all of the people who are important, to kill more or less. They made some playing cards that had the faces of all of the of all of the people, and the ace of the ace of hearts, I believe, is always Saddam Hussein. Aces is always Hassan
You think we'll tag Chemical Ali at this facility? He's in the vicinity. We'll get him.
Saddam Hussein.
Almost. Well, I'd still rather be sitting behind the desk. If shit hits the fan, at least we can rely on our support to dig this out.
So that's a really good detail. To be honest, is a really cool thing to see it. That's also something that I tend to forget sometimes that they do this.
You think we'll tag Chemical Ali at this facility? At least in the vicinity, we'll get him. That almost makes it worth the risk. Almost. Well, you know, I'd still rather be sitting behind the desk. If shit hits the fan, at least we can rely on our support to dig us out. I'm sure it won't come down to that.
Okay. Ah, there we go. Salim. Salim. There we go. Salim is the only character who I think anyone thinks that, you know, is actually good. Everyone seems to more or less agree that they like Salim and nobody else, more or less. And the only reason why people like Salim is because it's kind of fucking crazy. Yeah. So Salim. So Salim Othman. Yeah. So he's stubborn and courageous. And you will see that he's, well, the way that he kind of behaves is more than stubborn and courageous, is more like kind of retarded to a degree. He's very comedic, I would say. Yeah. He's very much comedic, but not in the sense of that his character is the butt of the joke. But it's more that it's more that the way that he behaves tends to be fairly comedic, and I don't know how to feel about him. I would say they clearly make you want to feel kind of for him. Like already his introduction is already kind of having this sort of laid back type of feel to him. You know, he's coming in, kind of just you know whistling as he's just starting his way. Yeah. Yeah, and he also has a family.
Zaid? Anna Kate? Zaid?
Yeah, so that's also something that they want to make you feel. The faces look so off. What the fuck? Okay. What the fuck? The faces look so weird. I. That's so like. Okay, I didn't want to focus on this a lot. The the eyes should be like a bit more further apart, and this eye should be a little bit more to the right, or his right. But oh fuck. Oh god. This is something that I didn't want to discuss, but now that I've seen this one, this is the worst case. Yeah. God. Like this guy looks. This guy, this mod, this looks fine, but this just looks off. Even with Rachel, it looks like her eyes are kind of a little bit too close together, and that's not how the. That's not. Never mind. Never mind. I don't want to focus too much on that. But yeah, some of the pictures that they show on this game, and even the some of the models look a little bit off, and specifically the eyes. It looks like they have the eyes kind of a little too close together, or maybe the eyes are kind of like yeah, Mesopotamian mythology. Already showing the things. By Dr. Shaki Amanat. Yeah. So you're already seeing, the Sumerians, the stars. Yeah. The Sumerians, from what I saw, is that they were basically the first astrologers. Basically,
This is crucial for Fadi.
they they had a lot of beliefs in stars and planets, and another So they were basically the first. No, what was? No, astrology is the actual scientific type of what was the belief in stars and all of that stuff, but when it relates to magic, what was the name of that? Never mind, it doesn't mean much, but more or less, yeah. Still, this game very much focuses a lot on focuses a lot on Mesopotamian mythology. Yeah, and here's where the whole like House of Ashes theme or title comes in. So when people die in Mesopotamian mythology, they are said to go to the underworld, yeah, which is known as Kur. And Kur literally means well, literally means House of Ashes. Yeah, that's their underworld, and that's what the game is called. So yeah, there you go. That's where the name comes from. Cool, right? Anyway, oh yeah, this is another mechanic where they kind of have. Basically, you focus on something, and then you can, or not focus, but you can inspect something, and you can move the camera a little bit to maybe, sorry, to maybe focus on different parts of whatever you're focusing on, and then as you saw earlier, you could focus. You could maybe just move it a little bit to one bit, and then the characters will just maybe comment on what they're currently seeing. It's it's not the most elaborate of. Oh, sorry. It's not the most elaborate of mechanics, but it works.
يا رب يا زين تاني.
اهبل. الو انا سليم. سليم برضه ابو زين. ايوه رجعت. هو زين مع هو زين مع ابنك. ايوه طارق هما مع بعض. لا كله تمام. اصل كان عيد ميلاده وانا قلت له هديه. اه رجع ابعته لي
Hold
حالا.
up.
معلش سلم. ابعته لي لو سمحت.
Yeah, so here the whole thing is that they're trying to make.
لا اديني. كابتن بصري اهلا. لازم خرج عدو. انت بتقول ايه ساعتك؟ العدو جاي ازاي؟ العدو جاي علينا دلوقتي. العدو.
Yeah, so you're.
محدش يتسلم. العدو جاي.
So here you.
شايفهم؟ مطلوب تاكيد.
With all of the game, with this game, or actually with all of the games, they always like to focus on mythology of one kind of another, or one type of another. With Man of Medan, they focused on the ghost ship called Marang Medan, which literally means man of something. And with Little Hope, they focused on the Salem witch trials. In here, they're focusing on Mesopotamian mythology, and in Devil in Me, they're focused on the H.H. Holmes crimes and his castle, murder castle, or murder mansion. How's it? Yeah. Now, one of the themes here, as I said, is more or less two sides that are like same side or whatever. Two sides that come together to make you feel for this guy. They do the usual, but he's got a family thing, which, to be honest, I personally find very cheap. Like, if you actually care about somebody, then you should actually care about this person, not just because they have people that they care, yeah, that care about them, but because, as a human being, you think that this person, deserves the right to, be happy or whatever. But the only reason why he deserves to live and, go back to escape the situation of what the fuck am I even saying? The only reason why uh, you want this character to escape is because because he's got a family, and that's literally it. I would say some other factors is as well, as a character is the most fun character, I suppose, from what there tends to be. Like, he's the most kind of comedic character out of all of them. Because if you see the other characters like Jason or Eric, Rachel or Nick, all of them are kind of Jason, Eric, and Rachel have their whole no Eric, Nick, and Rachel have their whole like love triangle thing, and as I said, they've done this to death with the past games, and it's just not good again because they kind of did the same thing in Until Dawn, where where two characters were kind of trying to see how their relationship progressed, but it's just they keep doing it all over every single time, and it just doesn't work. Wait, did it? Oh, he's got a prosthetic leg. Damn. Okay. The reason why I'm looking at this now is because, to be honest, I kind of, I don't. It's almost 2 hours now, and I don't want to be just because I kind of skipped up to here, which is when everything kind of goes down to shit. Okay, hold up. But yeah, again. So the thing. Ah, did you saw that? Okay, so they. I think that's a symbol that's seen in Little Hope. Yeah. Throughout all of these games, they have references to each other. More specifically, the games previous to this one. So that's a reference to House of Ashes. No, no House of what the fuck? To Little Hope. Uh, they have. But yeah, they. So throughout the whole game, they're kind of trying to make you think that the monsters are actually demonic in nature. Well, the monsters, they're vampires. So they're outright. They even actually burn up in the sunlight. So yeah. Wait, why did she say that in English? God, I skipped way too much on my previous watches. Okay, okay. So at this point, okay, I would say, okay. One of the references, okay, one of the things they actually also took inspiration from was from Aliens and the Predator. Well, not the Predator, but Predator. And I don't know how to feel. Okay, so the main reference there is that it's Marines. It's Marines in Aliens, and it's like mercenaries in Predator. But the whole thing about it is more or less just basically military people kind of confronting this alien creature that basically tears them all to shreds. At least in this one, most of them, yeah, depending on what you do, most of them will survive. Just important ones, not the ones that actually don't matter. But thing is, yeah, it's very much a reference to those type of films, and I would say those moments where you can see the like, you can hear the characters be like trying to act a bit macho-ish. It's very much reminiscent of that. Specifically, the no, actually, yeah, even even in Aliens, the Marines are very they're very kind of trying to be very macho. But in Predator, that's the whole point. Is the point of having two entities that are very masculine, or the idea of a very violent masculinity being pitted against each other. In here is more just a reference to that. Because here,
WP grenades would be real useful right now. Dad said we had to leave them at home, right? It was your orders, Marine. I didn't know if we got any more. Oh, bullshit!
wait, wait a minute. Oh, okay, never mind.
Gonna play. Give me some cover and get.
Okay, hold up.
Stay frame. Just hold still. Fire. Stay frame.
Yeah, yeah. So an earthquake occurs.
Get down before I swear I'll put a fucking hole through you. Fuck. Doesn't anyone speak English anymore?
Ah, okay, yeah. So use it again.
You better not miss. No more killing.
Yeah. So an earthquake occurs. The ground breaks, and then
Fucking way.
just from that, yeah. Okay, I do want to talk about that fall. Like, even if it's sped up, even if it isn't sped up, just from that fall alone, he should have died. That's something I always forget. Yeah, and I have seen this fall many times, and it's really funny. It's funnier each time. He should have fucking broken his arm, at least. No one should have survived. I'm telling you. And and the way that the ground broke is so specific. Like, it's not the homes. It's not the. It's not any of the actually heavy structures. It's where the people are. That's where the. That's where the ground broke. Like, look at it. Look at the homes. They should have fucking. That's where the ground should have broken. But you can only see holes where the people were. That's kind of dumb. Like, never mind. And he safely lands on his feet without breaking a single bone. And you can already hear the sound, like, and also like there's so much skin that's uncovered. His fucking arms and any other place that was like in contact with the floor as he was like. Is he meant to be falling? Or is he meant to be? Okay, yeah. So he's meant to be like kind of. He's kind of meant to be like kind of sliding on the surface. Uh, like I would say, all of these games have really good moments, but all of the games have a lot of really bad moments as well, and really like idiotic stuff. Oh, they could have. Please, I wish that they did the whole like press a button to call out as you're just walking around. That would have been hilarious. God,
Jason!
Jason. Yeah. Um. Hmm. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. So one of the other influences that they had for this game is actually the Descent. So if you don't know what the Descent is, the Descent is a game. It's a game. It's a film in which a group of cave diving friends basically become trapped in a cave, and and they actually keep it very much dark, but it's lit in such a way that you can always more or less see the characters to a degree, and they also have like cave monsters in there that also kill the all of the characters. And, another thing that's also a reference to or is influenced by blah, 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 the Descent is that in one of the moments in the Descent, they actually find a blood pit thing, and in this game, they also one of the characters lands in a blood pit. Though to be honest, that character should have died. You'll see when we see her. It's Rachel. Rachel falls into a blood pit. Oh, you can really see the monster. I think.
Jason! I'm close, man! I'm coming!
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Yeah. So that is one of the monsters, right? Yeah. What the fuck? I don't know why the fuck. What did I fucking ask? I'm so dumb. Yeah. So the monsters do like a clicking noise thing. I would say they do show a lot, but they do keep it in the darkness for a good bit. No, yeah. My question is, why is the if the monsters want to kill or they have a need for killing, then why didn't this one just go straight for him? Oh yeah, I would say that. So yeah, the third person camera is kind of there, but at some points they kind of take it away. Yeah.
Fuck is this place?
With our, we need to get back topside, regroup with the rest of the squad, and signal for medevac. This place ain't no weapon silo, but it's sure as fuck crawling with Iraqis.
He's intolerant, guys. Remember, he's he's intolerant, so he's clearly racist.
Nick? Sergeant K, pull yourself together.
I have no prejudgments about people of color. No, no, but hey, it would have been good to show that he's intolerant.
Wide.
All good. Just wasn't expecting to suddenly fall into the fucking earth.
I hear you.
Oh, you heard him? You heard one of the monsters?
Don't feel it. You sure?
Oh yeah, and I think yeah. They also do the whole basically because they want you to make sure that you know that you explore. So one of the things that they also do is one of the things that they also do is what's the word? Uh, is keep a bunch of basically they also did this in Until Dawn, where you just focus on you find something, you inspect it, and then you get a sort of like flash forward or how's it called like like a very quick vision of the future, but it's not a set future. It's usually always a sort of maybe this is gonna happen, maybe it's not gonna happen. It really depends on your actions, right? You're never told how it's gonna happen or why it's gonna happen. It's more or less you just saw the Asian guy get dragged through a hole. Yeah, and this can.
Down! It's bad. He's bleeding out. We have to cut him down right now.
Hold tight, buddy.
Yeah, see this guy? He should. All of them should have looked like this, and worse.
Fucked, he's so fucked.
You don't think I can hear you?
You're gonna pull through, brother.
So it like in all of the games, it's like remember what I was saying about the gore in all of the games, how much they focused on the like for Until Dawn in Man of Medan, House of Ashes, and in this one, they the focus on the gore is really weird because it's never like it's very detailed. Like you see him that he's covered in blood, like far more blood than any human actually normally has. But he for for that amount of blood to be covering like almost all of his body, he should have some like open wounds all over his body, but you barely see them. Like where are they?
Check it out. There's morphine in my back.
Like
We're gonna pump you up, okay?
Hurry the hell up!
We got this.
Okay, for what?
Jesus, who the hell loaded these packs?
Iraqis. What I said, Iraqis. She had to look out for Iraqis, and look at her.
What the fuck just happened? Maurice?
The kind of funny thing is that the moment that you learn that the monsters are basically vampires and that sunlight fucks them up, the moment that you learn that and you realize that they were in a very good spot, being basically having sunlight just shine down on them, it's like, oh my god, they didn't have to do any of that. But well, it's kind of like a sort of retrospective thing where it's like, oh shit, we could have definitely been stayed there and we were safe.
You want the good version or the bad version?
Yeah, how is this? What this? There's nothing visible. All that I can see is that he's covered in blood. As far as I'm aware, he's basically covered in somebody else's blood. He says that he's in pain, but I don't see any broken bones. He seems to more or less his legs seem to be fine to a degree. There seems to be some cuts on the material itself, but there is no visual injuries for him to be like that.
Just give it to me straight.
Oh, this is good. This is good. I think this is gonna happen. Yeah. Hold up. Okay, there I saw the injuries.
I just tell you to keep your shit together. Start calling for us.
Nick, you're killing him!
Yeah, hold up. This is really good. Oh.
Morphine's kicked in.
Okay. Shit, that's okay. So at least here he lives. But you can actually fucking suffocate him to death doing that. I don't know. Maybe you, because from what it seems, what the character did, or actually what the player did here, is just, I guess, not mash the buttons whenever told. Like sometimes the game will tell you do this, but there's it's kind of the game is very cheeky. It's very cheeky because sometimes it will like, hey, keep putting, keep your hand on his mouth and everything. You'll surely not suffocate him, and you can definitely suffocate him and kill him. It's really funny when it happens, and it's kind of funnier because when the game goes along, the character barely fucking reacts to the fact that he just killed one of his comrades. He's far more like, he even outright says that he's far more traumatized by the whole like killing or shooting. No, did he killed or did he just got one of the a civilian injured? Like he says that he got one of the civilians injured. I don't know if he outright killed that person or whatever, but they don't say that he killed them. But still, he's far more traumatized by the fact that he killed a civilian than that he killed one of his comrades with his own hands. It's never mind. Okay, so
أنا الملازم سليم عثمان لكل الجنود. اسمعني.
yeah,
مش عارف في كهف بحاول أخرج.
Alachrak,
حول.
Howl. Yeah. Oh, what am I doing?
كان عندي مشاريع النهارده، استحمى، اسمع موسيقى، احتفل عيد ميلاد ابني.
Yeah, like this little comments are what people find is why people find him fairly endearing. Is because he kind of he's the he's very much a character, somewhat of a comedic character. Like he's been like, oh, but at this time I would have been at my birthday song, and then this and that. But no. Literally, he just goes, but oh no, you had to come knocking on my door. The Americans are coming. You said, like, this is far more endearing than Love Triangle that has been done to death. I mean, to be honest, that at least kind of goes with the themes that we're going. But even he himself also goes with the themes that the game is kind of going by, with the whole, two enemy sides that have to come together to survive.
لا دق على باب انا، لا لما كان جايين، لما كان جايين. بص احنا فين دلوقتي؟ والله ما انا عارف انا فين.
Hmm. Oh yeah. Also, no, something that I noticed is that the dialogues, at least from what it seems, the dialogues of all of the characters, just I guess talking or whatever, whenever they are walking, last basically the right amount of time for the character to maybe stop traversing and then go into another cutscene. That's actually really good timing done for that's like really good level design, and also designing the character's movement, because you have to make sure that the character moves at a pace that they're fairly fast, but not too so fast that they kind of cut themselves by going into a cutscene. Plus, you can always fix that with some.
إذا في حد موجود هنا رد عليا دلوقتي.
Though I would say maybe the voice acting could be a bit better, to some degrees. Oh,
ايه اللي جرالك هنا؟
Okay. I think I'm about to more or less finish this off because I kind of have more or less said all I had to say. I think maybe I'm gonna continue this, at least like visually reviewing this thing. Though at this point I've already finished my my report thing. I kind of just want to see some screenshots, some good places for screenshots. Um,
Just quick draws rope, light.
okay, why is this
Maybe
place?
climbing out of the
Why
cabin
is,
back there would have been the smarter move.
The way I see it, if these people were here before us, there must be another way out.
oh well. Oh, I guess. Yeah, anything that's more or less that can be inspected is always visible by basically having that like shine thing that they always do in all of the games. They also did this in Until Dawn, but they have this like shining thing that they always do, or shining glimmer thing that they always do in all on various games. It's not just in the in these types of games. They always do it in a lot of games. But in this game, it's holy shit, it's really big. Do you see it? Like it's so noticeable. In Until Dawn, I think it wasn't that noticeable. No, what happened? Did I?
The 24th, 19.
Oh, maybe it's copyright things. Well, yeah.
What happened to these guys?
They did. Anyway,
For eons we lived as children in this world, unaware of the horrors that slumber beneath our feet. Now we have
Need a hit?
Let's just keep.
okay. Yeah, so this is when. So this is when finally they start to show a bit more of the monster. I'm trying to. Where about? When does the thing of the bit where she falls? Yeah, there we go. That's when. Okay. When does she actually fall? Fuck. What?
But no, the Median world. We are
Okay.
the souls of the. If you'd asked me that before, you know what? I don't know. I didn't think to ask. How about you? Do you believe in demons?
Yeah. So this is. So again, we're like at about halfway of the game, and the game is trying to still sell you onto the fact that maybe these monsters aren't really monsters, but they're actually demons. So they're, that they're actually supernatural in nature. When we're later revealed that they're not really supernatural in nature, and they're more or less just aliens.
If you'd
Not
asked
more or
me
less
that
that they are
before,
actually aliens.
the House of Ashes. Never been Median. Well, if we're in hell,
Yeah.
fine, Kurt, go.
My God. You were right. What the hell is that thing?
It looks straight out of Stranger Things.
Sergeant Gay. You alright? Temple.
Yeah, and here's where they discovered. They discovered. This is when they discovered that, or actually more or less just completely proof that
Come on. This week.
light fucks them up. Hold up. He gets one of the UV light things and just shines on one of the on that corpse of the monster. Okay.
Crown. Good.
More like.
I think she.
It's fine.
We have.
Oh yeah, this is when she falls. Yeah. Yeah, and I think if you don't do that, then she will fall still. There is no... Maybe she doesn't, maybe she... Okay. Yeah.
Just give it to me.
Maze, please advise.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know why she's alive. She should be fucking dead.
Oh, shit.
Don't speak, dumbass. Oh well. Yeah.
That can't be anything good.
Yeah, she shouldn't be speaking. And she goes towards it. Joe, you're searching for trouble, aren't you? Okay. Okay, hold up. Okay, I would say this jump scare is kind of a bit more granted. It's kind of like the other jump scare where you know that you're kind of going towards something, but you're not expecting that it's that you know something more harmless is gonna pop up. Wait, hold up, hold up. Oh yeah, the really flammable bone. Like, I think what's implied here is that she takes a bone, and then she like makes a homemade torch with it. But yeah, she did. You cannot see it, but yeah, she rips. Yeah, it's that's not really how it should work, but that thing burns for a while, and it shouldn't. Anyway. Oh yeah, hold up. A design thing that I personally don't like is okay. This okay. So the monsters or aliens or whatever you want to call them, because they're vampiric, they also have like basically vampire teeth. But instead of actually having like actual vampire teeth, they have you know, with actual vampire teeth, I mean the whole like, you know, having two fangs more or less on each side. But in here, they have more or less that the two frontal pallets kind of become the fangs. And I don't know, with the aliens design, it looks okay. But with the like transformed humans, it looks goofy, my dude. It doesn't look good. But I think that's a bit of a reference to a vampire design from one of Stephen King's films. I think it's called The Vampires. You know, the something Salem Slot. Yeah. So the vampire in Salem Slot also has two frontal teeth that are just the fangs, and it looks as well kind of weird. It doesn't look as it doesn't look as scary as they think it looks. You know what's known to be flammable? Blood. Why is it that fire doesn't behave like that? Okay. All right. Here's the deal. Because whenever they're showing that the monster, like the monster doesn't have eyes, but it's got echolocation. However, he can see the fire. Like, I'm so confused. Like, he can see that the fire is bright, but he shouldn't. What, like, at most, he should more or less sense that the fire is making a lot of noise, and and he should be able to, I guess, feel that the fire is making a lot of heat. Therefore, it's fire. But instead, the monster can see that it's fire, and he can clearly see that it's making light, but he shouldn't, because again, he doesn't have eyes. Anyway, and they've kind of, as you can see, they've ditched the whole like pose effect thing. Oh yeah, the moment that you see this hoe, you immediately know she's fucked. She's clearly like infected or something. Like, and she even knows it. She's looking at her like,
The incisors appear grossly malformed and discolored.
yeah, incisors. Yeah.
Oddly out of place.
I mean, why are you even? You're kind of you're analyzing this creature like if it was human, but you can see that apart from the incisors, there's no other teeth.
The membrane surrounding the specimen seems to originate from its mouth. Blood is like nothing I've seen. I'll now
Yeah.
perform a UV sweep to further inspect the fluids.
Full check. Is that you?
Maybe we
On the surface.
Okay, so yeah.
Just as well. Don't feel much like climbing out there.
So it's making so much of a ruckus. Why couldn't the others hear it? Oh well. So yeah, this is what happens to the humans that get infected. I don't know. There's it doesn't look that good.
Where have you been?
Yeah.
One of those things got its dirty hands on me, dragged me down here, left me for dead.
Fuck.
Fuck doesn't even start to cut it.
I'm lucky to have gotten away.
You're talking to a scientist. There's no such thing as luck. You should be thankful I was there to help you. To find a way out of this hole.
This damn light.
Those people must have been in the valley. Got it. Oh, fucked. We don't stand a chance. Rachel.
I'm a physicist. That's not what I meant. I know a little something about that.
You do? It's up on Easy Street.
Queen bitch. You think I got where I am with a soft word and a warm
Okay.
here?
Yeah?
That was meant to be friendly, by the way.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, so as I said, she dies whatever happens. There's no way to save her.
There's medication up there. We don't know enough about those things.
Come on, Rachel. Don't bullshit me.
It doesn't look good.
Yeah, this is when she finally tells her, yeah, you're clearly fucked.
Truth is
There's
so
something
overrated.
there's something clearly wrong with you.
If it happens, if I turn,
Yeah, and she already knows that they can turn. How did they come to that conclusion? Hold up.
we're
Hold
on
up.
the wrong side of the chasm. We'll never make it.
Don't quit on me now. We have to swing over.
That rope won't hold.
Wait!
Do you really believe those medicines will help me?
Why is she looking at? Okay, they always look like kind of above. It's kind of weird.
We don't know enough about those things.
Come on, Rachel. Don't bullshit me.
It doesn't look.
If I turn,
It won't be you I'm killing. Have hope.
Yeah, so clear. So here she decides to.
you're screwed enough as it is. If you stay with me, there's no hope for you at all.
Yeah, depending on what you say, she'll choose to swing over or not, and even then, there's a chance that she will fall. Yeah, but you can hear there's a bunch. Um, those type of, those type of like machine guns, not machine guns, but like automated guns have kind of a bit of a a recoil that's noticeable. It's not just the camera.
Don't even think about it.
Hello there, rabbit.
What are those quips? Stop quipping. Ugh.
Rachel? Rachel?
Ooh ooh ooh! You fucking cut the line for.
Where's Eric?
Rach? I'm so sorry.
You followed climbing protocol. You had no other choice but to cut the rope. We don't need to discuss it.
We both would have died. You have to understand that.
She already said that she understands. Yeah, he. She understands that you followed protocol. That both of them would have died. Though, hold up. I want to see
Good?
the faces.
Tim, isn't it? I understand you're not the brightest, Nick, but even you must know what I'm talking about. fucking him, haven't you?
You know, again, what I said, in the middle of this fucking really serious situation, they started to just have like personal bickering. Motherfuckers, you you guys are about to fucking die. There's some creatures following you and shit, and you decide to fucking again start to bicker about your love triangle and shit. Like focus on that once you know you're sure that you're gonna live. Up until now, you know that for certain that there's something following you and that it's and that it could come out to attack you at any moment. Ugh. Oh god.
That's the best you got?
The voice acting. They're fighting, and then the way that he says it implies that he wasn't fighting. No, here again.
Fucking him, haven't you? That's the best you got?
That's the best you got.
I know it's him, Rach. I know.
I... He barely sounds angry.
You better step off before I start swinging. Colonel or no colonel?
Don't, Nick.
Ugh.
I tried waiting, Eric. I really did. I'm sorry.
Always loyal.
Always loyal, huh? You weren't so loyal when you cut the rope.
It's good to see you, Rachel. Thought we'd lost you.
Who else made it through?
Yeah, I can understand why people don't fucking like any of these characters. They're all like any of the characters. Rachel, Nick, and Eric. They're all just spiteful people. Like they keep using things that they did to just use it against each other. They're not good characters. They're not good people at all.
It ain't good. Merwin's gone.
Clarice was infected. Those things. I don't know how they got inside her. I couldn't take the risk. I had to leave her behind.
You telling me Clarice is still out there?
That's not Clarice anymore.
Oh, by the way, so they kind of assume that she's becoming infected, that she's like transforming or something, but they haven't seen anything. At least she hasn't seen anything, and at least the only ones who would actually come into that assumption would be the other ones who actually saw the other guy who should be dead, you know, transformed into something else and behaving like one of those monsters. Like it would only be Joey, Nick, and Kay who would actually be able to go into that sort of assumption that she's becoming infected with a thing that's gonna turn her into a monster. But why why did Clarice and Rachel fall into that assumption either as well? Did they encounter the monsters as well before?
I saw her
I s-
changing before my eyes.
you say changing. She looked like she was dying rather than change.
Believe it.
Like at most they could have shown some like horns coming out of her body. Like did they show that? Maybe I missed it. Again, sorry, I kind of went through this, but more into the going through all of the important bits. But I kind of want to go through all of this a bit more thorough. And I was doing other stuff whilst I was also viewing this, so maybe I missed some things. Yeah, this guy because again NPC. They'll die either way. Oh wait, he dies. He dies either way. Whatever you do. Yeah, they haven't encountered this guy at all. Yeah, they encountered him here. I thought I got I got confused and maybe thought that maybe they encountered him earlier. But no, yeah, they encountered him here. So why did she even assume that they could transform into the never mind. Why? Okay, yeah. The so again, the game is trying to more or less continuously imply that these are demons, and that what was happening to Clarice was more or less a possession or infection, vampiric type, you know. But oh yeah, and the other guy, Dar, was saying that was saying that yeah, you're right, they are demons. Sorry. Okay. Again, yeah. So you have the choice. Yeah. So he dies. Dar dies. Whatever you do. Oh wait, we saw. See that statue? That's a statue of Pazuzu. Because the whole ordeal with the demons thing, the monsters, is that they are actually meant to look kind of Pazuzu, or implying that their appearance influenced the appearance of Pazuzu. The other thing that I don't know how or why the people would come up with the idea that that Pazuzu's schlong is a snake. I don't know. And did Rachel die? I swear to God that she doesn't die. Okay. Yeah, they do the whole like,
Don't you fucking move.
you Iraqi. He should have said that. He should have said that, because he's intolerant. Wait, did it did the bar? Oh, the bar is clipping. The bar is clipping through his leg.
You alone? Anyone else make it?
It all happened too fast. I think it's just you and me.
Just you and me, huh? Well, that's...
The gun. Your friend said, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. That is not always true, but if we both want to live, we must fight as one. The sword and the shield.
They're too wordy for my liking.
I just realized he has a southern accent. That's why he's intolerant. That's why he hates.
I'm in.
Yeah, again, the theme of two opposing sides having to come together to live or to survive, whatever.
Did all of we find down here?
Yeah, look, hold up.
Were these the demons Mary had spoken about?
Looks like a bat.
Had Bradshaw known all along what we'd find down here?
Yeah, whatever.
Dead.
Oh yeah, and they keep doing the whole thing of like, that you have to stake them through the heart. I was like, well, yeah, if you, I don't know, but if you didn't know, if but you can kill anything if you stake it through the heart. Like that's kind of a bit of a at least with vampires the thing is that that's the only way to kill them, besides fire. So am I gonna A specimen contains an inordinate amount of blood in the stomach. Analysis of blood samples show high density of adrenaline. Does the organism feed on fear? I, this is kind of dumb. You know what? Hey, you know what makes you secrete a lot of adrenaline? Being fucking killed. You don't have to be like afraid to be like you don't have to instill fear in the in a thing in whatever you're killing to make it have adrenaline in its body. The moment that you present yourself as as some sort of threat to whatever thing that you're trying to kill, you specifically for these fucking monsters that look very threatening and that do a lot of scary noises. If they're killing a human or they're going after a human, well, of course they're gonna be having adrenaline in their body because they would most likely be running away. What is this? Does the organism feed on fear? What the fuck you mean, motherfucker? Yeah, instills fear in their victims. Well, of course it's gonna do it. It's gonna instill fear in their victims because it fucking is just gonna instill in fear in their victims because it's trying to fucking kill them. Ugh. Anyway. Ugh. Like think about it a bit. Just think about it a bit logical because they're trying to do the whole like it's some sort of supernatural being that feeds on fear, but it doesn't. It's just feeding off of blood, and because there's adrenaline in the blood, that doesn't mean that it that it feeds specifically on adrenaline. That's just like it's a very faulty way of thinking things in a scientific way. It's just kind of like I can't remember how it's called, but it's a very flawed way of actually analyzing things. That's just because it's on all of them doesn't mean on every sample doesn't mean that it's there due to the reason that you think. There's a far more logical explanation, which is that when you kill something, it will, I don't know, as a last ditch effort, pump a bunch of adrenaline on the body to ensure that maybe the whatever that maybe the body can overpower whatever it's being attacked by. Like, do you know? Have you never seen what happens when people are heavily injured and they become full of adrenaline, and then they get that weird like all of a sudden like like overpowering strength. That's because of adrenaline, and usually that happens because the body is in shock because the body feels like it needs to pump a bunch of adrenaline to ensure that that it survives. Anyway, let's stop with biology. The fucking thing is the fucking AI is not allowed you to go through, motherfucker.
Of January.
Yeah, whatever. Who's putting a bunch of bugs on top of their work? They, oh, oh my god, who's putting mugs on top of everyone's work? Oh my god. Couldn't it like you're underground? Couldn't it be like on? Couldn't it be on like a bunch of gravel or maybe other things? Could you like like instead of having just one mug, have like a bunch of shit all over the thing? So you have to maybe outright just pick the thing up and maybe dust it off or something like that. That's more interesting than a mug on top of the paper. Sorry.
What are you doing?
Ah.
We're many have fallen into shadow.
The music! Oh god.
Rachel,
The I don't know if my brain is just rotted from internet culture, but that music does no longer sound the same that they think that it sounds. It's
found her way back to the light. Well done. All alive.
what do you mean? Oh,
Although don't get complacent. Their
oh, my bad. Only a couple of them are actually important. The rest are all NPCs and nobody fucking gives a shit about them.
lives still hang by a thread. Let's hope nothing unfortunate has befallen Sergeant K. Those taken by the abyss seldom live to tell the tale. As for Jason and Salim, sworn enemies who cannot seem to bury the hatchet, unless that hatchet is buried in a bag.
What? Unless that.
Unless that hatchet is buried in a bag.
Ah, okay, I'm done. Yeah.
I don't want.
Did it? Hold on.
As for Jason and Salim, sworn enemies who cannot seem to bury the hatchet,
Okay.
unless that hatchet
Look at.
is buried in a bag.
He changes positions in shots, I think.
I
No,
don't
okay,
want
no.
to seem like an ungracious host, but time is against us. I'll be here to greet your charges as they.
Ah, okay.
Cantaloupe caviar. Not exactly honeymoon material, is it?
Yeah, so they went to Little Hope to have their honeymoon.
Ice climbing is relaxing.
Hell no, climbing isn't relaxing. Oh wait, I just realized that's copyrighted music. Oh fuck, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't have that on. Yeah, fuck. I just really they have a lot of music. I didn't realize that they would have copyrighted music. Shit. Oh, I hope I don't get a copyright strike. Yeah, I don't happy. Yeah, so they're already having marital problems on day one. Oh, okay, they had a. Okay, so she was left for dead, but in fact, okay. So when the monsters seemed to be feeding off her blood, what was actually happening is that she was being infected. Uh, because the way that they infect the monsters, the way that they infect the others is via a parasite, and the parasite looks very. It looks very alien-esque.
He's alive.
I can't.
He's alive.
Maybe things are going so badly.
Yeah, marital problems, blah blah blah, racism problems, yada yada. Also, here's the deal: in the promotional material, they kept going like Rachel is like, well, she is one of the protagonists, but she isn't the protagonist. In fact, if I believe correctly, there is no ending in which she lives alone. There's, in fact, actually, there is only one ending in which Salim survives alone.
Hoorah!
What on earth is that sound?
It's a marine thing.
Oh, so does that make me a marine too?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, huh?
Okay.
Hey,
Wait a minute. I'm always confused. Okay, because I thought the word marine, you know, came from the word maritime, so they were like all about being in the sea. Actually, I'm now fucking confused. What the fuck is a marine? Because I thought that in Aliens, the reason why they were called marines. Hold up, marine meaning. Yeah, like marine, as in like a marine plant, a marine animal, a member of a body of troops trained to serve on land or sea. Okay. In the UK, a member of the Royal Marines, or in the US, a member of the Marine Corps. Corpse, by the way, meaning like body. Literally, corpse means literally body, which is the marine body. Why they're called Marines? Yeah, marine relates to the sea, but why are they called marine? Never mind. Weird things. I don't know.
Got your back.
We'll stand together.
Brother of different mothers. You should have said something like that. Ay. Ay. Joder, honestamente debería hablar más español. Porque aquí la idea era de que sea bilingüe. Bueno, sí, sabes que voy a hacer un poquito de. Voy a hablar un poquito de español para. Solamente porque es que aquí la idea era de que hable. Ah, esto es que se ve tan alien. Se ve tan alien. This looks so alien. And not alien in the sense of that it's foreign, but alien as in the film. It's so fucking H.R. Geiger. Holy fucking shit. Yeah, it's so like the. Hold up, this is a really good shot. I should screenshot it. Print screen. But I mean, it's kind of weird to have all of this like alien-esque type of designs for the environment, but the aliens themselves barely fit it because the whole idea with the environment is that it looks biomechanical, which is also done here. But the aliens themselves don't look biomechanical at all. So it's really weird. I don't understand what was the purpose of that. Snip into. Yeah, I'm really confused by that. Because yeah, that was the purpose of the because because it was all based on H.I. Geiger's um designs. So it doesn't make sense to have this kind of very biomechanical type of ordeal be done here, but as well the aliens don't look the part. They don't look biomechanical at all because the xenomorph definitely looks biomechanical. It's literally based on one of the in one of the in one of in one of H.I. Geiger's paintings or drawings or whatever. But instead, the monster looks like generic monster number 77. It's it's not it's not what there is no relation between the two. You know what I mean? Anyway. Yeah, okay. Alright. This is the only thing that I would say fine. Okay. So here they have like a cabin full of eggs. Okay, not here, not here. It's so alien, yeah. Holy shit. I didn't realize because I was actually focusing because in my previous watches I was actually focusing more on the like bit where they have the eggs. But yeah, it's clearly yeah. Anyway, also I don't know the camera. It's third-person camera, yes, but of course this is going for the cinematic view. I don't know if maybe you can look back, but I don't know. It's a really well done camera. I would say. I would say I do like the camera. Like the positioning of the camera is clearly kind of guided to a degree. No, those are meant to be the eggs. Oh, well. Yeah. Oh well.
Sleep.
What is it?
I think we hit the mother lode.
Yeah, I think it's this scene. Yeah, this scene's so alien. There it is. There it is. There it is. Okay, I'm gonna have to stop it here. I would say, to be honest, it was a. I would say it was a really great watch. I am gonna kind of. I've already finished with my own like written analysis thing that I had to do, but there we go. Okay, but yeah, there was a. Again, it was. It's just that there's a lot of elements that I personally like, but there's also a lot of elements that are really bad and just don't seem to fit at all what they're trying to do. It's just not. It's by no means what I kind of search from this type of games. It's mainly the story. The story's just not good as it should be because I understand what they're kind of going for with the whole oh you have you have your love triangle and then you have your two two sides and even in the love triangle they kind of have that thing where you have basically the like two conflicting sides being Kay and Eric, but even that's just that's barely seen and it just depends on which choices you choose and most of the time it's just it's just not good. It's just not fun to see a relationship of two people just continuously of two people just continuously bickering and you know uh, and being nasty to each other. That's just not fun. And they do it for all of the games. I don't want to see my parents, bickering again. You know what I mean? Uh, but for the other side, I would say the only guy that's actually made to kind of I guess seem kind of fun is Salim. But the other guy is clearly just meant to be just racist, and that's it. With intolerant, what he actually meant to say was racist. Anyway, but yeah, I think I'll stop it here. Yeah, all right. Well, I'll be ending the stream now. All right, thank you. Bye bye.